And Mystery Beer Monday. Tuesday is Trivia Night. Wednesday is $5 Domestic Beer Night. Thursday and Friday, it's live music. Saturday is half-price Pitcher Day. And on Sunday, take 10% off your bill with your church bulletin. Bring the family on out for a great meal at Newt's on the corner of Warren and Washington Streets on the Court Square in Uptown Shelby. Since 1934, that's right, 1934, Watson Insurance Agency has been providing the people of our area the best possible combination of insurance, risk management techniques, and personalized service in the most efficient manner possible. And today, the tradition continues. Watson Insurance is one of the largest independently owned brokers in the Southeast, represented over 30 of the largest and financially sound insurance carriers today. Before you buy, get a quote with offices in Gastonia, Lincoln, and Belmont and Lake Wiley. Find out more at watsoninsurance.com.
Good morning and welcome to the Community Profile for this Wednesday, June 25th, 2014. Milton Baker here, and in the studio, co-host and executive producer of the Community Profile, Sandy Alexander. Hello, Sandy.
Hello, Milton.
All right, good to see you. Good to have you back with us today. Missed you yesterday.
Missed being here.
If you would, please tell folks who we have today.
Okay. We are pleased to have Dale and Ruby Mckenny. They're here representing the Bethware Fair that is coming in July the 1st. This is its 67th year. I knew it'd been around a long time, but I couldn't believe 67. So welcome, and I just want you to think, Milton, I don't know a thing about the Bethware Fair, and just tell us what we need to know.
Well, thank y'all for having us. Got to know Calvin, several years ago when he was a Cleveland County Fair Manager, so called him. Glad to get this set up. This is our 67th year. We are a nonprofit organization. The fair is recognized by the Department of Agriculture. We are a Category 1 agricultural fair. The main purpose of agricultural fairs is to educate the public on agriculture, and we've got children growing up today that think milk and eggs come from Walmart, and so it's part of our job to try and teach them that they come from cows and chickens, and and how all of it works. And this past year we did part of our agriculture exhibit as far as animals. We hatched eggs, and that was a big hit. The children loved it. The adults loved it. I was amazed by that. The people who had booths and things in the gym would come in, and that was the first thing they would do is go see if any of the eggs had hatched out that day, and so that was a big deal. We're going to do that again this year. Excited about that. The 4-H helps us do that. We need vendors.
Yeah.
If you know anybody that's want to advertise their business, services, whatever, we've got plenty of space available, indoor and out. Space inside just starts at $50. And for any community or civic organization, we do not charge for space. They can come and set up, and we don't charge them anything. We try not to have food vendors, because that's part of what we do is we sell the hamburgers, hot dogs, ham, biscuits, that type of stuff. So we don't try not to have stuff that's going to compete with the money that we're trying to raise. But anything other than food, we welcome. I brought Mom with me today. Talk about the exhibit hall a little bit. You want to?
Well, we need people to bring in any homemade goods that they have, whether it's a crocheted or knitted or sewn, needlepoint, cross stitch, any canned goods, their green beans, pickles, anything, jellies, jams, and let's see what else. Oh, your fresh vegetables with your gardens coming in now. We need those. Bring those in.
Well, now, the outside vendors, you said it was $100?
Yes, for outside space.
Okay, and 50 for the exhibit hall, right?
Exhibit hall.
Yeah, the booths inside are not quite as big as the space we'll give you outside. I think they're a 7 by 7. The inside booths are, which you can get as many of them as you need. You know, we've got people who rent doubles and triples and that type thing, but we'll try and accommodate whatever you need.
Now, I know the children will be interested in this. How many rides do you have within the fair this time?
Well, they have to bring a minimum of 18. I'm not sure exactly what all he's going to bring. I spoke to him last week, and they were up in Canton last week, and they were getting rained on then. So I told him to leave that in Canton. Don't bring it with you.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
Pray for good weather.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me, I'm not familiar. Where is Bethware, and what area you folks in?
It's sort of in the Oak Grove community, right off Highway 74 on the Moss Lake exit. If you get off on the Moss Lake exit, if you're coming from Shelby, you take a left. If you're coming from Gastonia, you take a right. And David Baptist Church Road's right there on the left, and you just turn right there, and you can't miss it.
Okay.
Bethware Elementary's right there, and the Shriners will be out there parking cars, and they'll be back with us this year doing that, and we split the proceeds from the parking with them.
How big an area is Bethware? How many? Is it a community? Is it it's not an incorporated town,
No,
is it?
Well, kind of the backstory on Bethware is there was a Ware school in the Oak Grove community, and there was a Bethlehem school.
Okay.
And when they combined the two years ago, you got Bethware. And in those days, it was a 12-year school. Both of my granddaddies graduated from Bethware.
Okay.
And
kind of like a lot of the little towns
Oh,
and
yeah.
communities around had their own schools, and now you mentioned the Bethware Elementary. Is it still? You still have Bethware Elementary School?
Yes, it's a working school.
Yeah, that's great. Is this where the fair takes place?
Yes.
On the school grounds?
Yeah, on the school grounds.
Okay.
We've been there the entire time.
67 years.
67
So,
years.
you have any idea, back when it began, how it began, how it came to be?
I started to call Craig Mays and brush up on this story this morning because I'm not sure I'll get it exactly right. But from, it was way before my time. But from what I was told, there was one year there was I want to say a polio outbreak or something, and they did not have the county fair that year. And some of the guys in the community just decided afterwards that, well, we just need to have a fair. And so that's how the Bethware Fair came to exist, and it's just been an ongoing thing ever since.
And also, with Bethware being a 12-year school, the basketball team, they were needing new uniforms.
Okay.
And so that's where the money from the first fair was used to buy uniforms
That's interesting.
for the
Yeah.
Bethware
Oh, yeah.
students
Yeah.
for their team.
So anything that you make, it goes you're a nonprofit, so you just give the money away per se. And
Yes.
scholarship money.
Yeah, we give a $1,000 college scholarship every year. We donate money to the Bethware School. In the past, we've helped people in the community that had needs, cancer patients. I think one year there was a family who got burned out, and we helped them with their temporary accommodations. And we just try and meet needs. When we have the money.
Do you have a board of directors or a
Yes, we
committee
have
that meets? Or?
Yeah, we have a 10-member board, and we have club members, and I want to especially say thank you to all the volunteers who come out and help us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a labor of love. There's no pay. I'm the fair manager. I'm not paid. We do it because we love it and we want to see the tradition continue.
Yeah. It's one of those things that sounds like, you know, that they get started. Like, I love the history behind things.
Oh, yeah,
Excuse
I
me
do
if I go back into the history. That's why I asked him about the beginning, because so many things begin like this. You know, it's just an idea that is thought of maybe on the spur of the moment, and next thing you know, you have a parade that's going on for 20 or 30 years out in the middle of the country, or you have a fair that springs up and it's 67 years.
Yes.
You know that you guys have been going pretty strong. I don't know the Cleveland County Fair, a little bit bigger, I guess, and been around a little bit longer. But you guys, y'all got a pretty impressive track record there, 67 years.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how many people usually come to this fair? You have
Well,
a head count?
We really don't know exact numbers because we don't charge admission.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's $3 to park, and like I say, we split that money with the Shriners, but we don't charge an admission. You know, we're not like a lot of the other fairgrounds. We don't have a fence and gates. You can walk in from anywhere. You know.
Okay.
So we don't charge admission. So it's kind of difficult to get a head count.
Do you have a lot of exhibits or activities that come back year after year? Some that are favorites of people that they come every year to see. Anything like that? Certain games or rides or anything?
Well, since we went with inner shows, he has a drop tower. And this thing is 100 foot tall.
Oh, good.
And it takes you to the top
Oops.
and drops.
And
Oh,
just
no
drops.
way. No
Yeah,
way.
Sandy needs that.
I visioned that, not my stomach.
And I'll tell you, if you ain't never done it, it will take your breath. My daughter, I wanted her to go to the top of it and take some pictures last year, and she said, the only way I'm going to do it is if you ride with me, Daddy. So she got me on that thing, and
So you both were on there.
that's...
Is that the ride where the bottom falls out?
No, it's got seats. It's sort of circular, and it's got seats all the way around it, and you strap into those, and it just takes you up, and
And all of a sudden
you're done.
You're gone. The bottom
It's,
sort of drops out from under you.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting it. It was.
Well, moving right along.
And,
You're going to have the carousel, I hope.
Oh, yes,
That's more
yes.
my speed.
Yeah.
actually, we had one year, it was another carnival, but they did not bring a merry-go-round.
And we got a lot of flack for that.
Yes, we
That's-
did. So
That is
has
a
not
must.
happened.
It's not a fair without a merry-go-round.
I thought, who ever heard?
So you definitely do have the merry-go-round.
Oh yeah, and we'll have. He usually tries to split it. We'll have the kiddie rides, for the little ones, and we try and have some that for the teenagers, because that's who comes and rides. Obviously, us older folks, we don't.
Yeah.
When it is it,
There's a few, but
the rides they pay to ride the rides.
yeah, we will have armbands every night. Tuesday night is $10 armband night. That's a pretty good deal these days. They're $17 the rest of the week. We have $2 off coupons out everywhere. If you're come to the fair, stop by one of the local stores, you can pick you up some coupons.
Or come in the exhibit hall.
Yeah, or we'll have them in the exhibit hall.
Yeah.
Now you just handed me. Last year you had Casey Chambers for.
She is
She is
our,
the
she's our
fair
fair queen this year.
Well, she's gorgeous.
She just finished 4th grade at Bethware, so this is her last year at Bethware. And she was chosen by teachers,
Yeah, the staff.
the staff, and all of Bethware.
That's great.
She was chosen.
And we have a
That's
queen every year. What was it, the 60th year we did a wall of all the previous fair queens, and you'd be amazed at, if you talk to people in the community, I could tell you school principals who were Bethware Fair Queen.
Oh.
It's, when you go back looking through who was the fair queen. It's
Things they went
it's
on
odd.
to do.
Who, yeah.
Well, people look forward to this fair. You know, it's held at a good time and a distance from the Shelby Cleveland County Fair, so they can get a little taste of another fair. And the North Carolina Department of Agriculture, you're intertwined with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like you said, teaching kids about chickens and milk and stuff like that, that's a learning experience too.
Oh yeah.
And we have paperwork and all that we have to fill out and turn into Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
we're
Are there lots of animals for the kids to see, cows and so forth?
Well, not really anymore. We used to do that, but with everything that's went on in the last several years with the E. coli, and there again, we are on school grounds, so there's a huge liability issue
I see.
as far as that goes. As far as what the animals leave behind, they have to be cleaned up. And, we don't want to have any environmental risk or anything. So, like I say, that's why we have really minimized what animals we do have. We still try and have that factor for the education point of it and meet the bare minimum requirements to be an agricultural fair.
Uh-huh.
But Kevin with the Department of Agriculture has really worked with us and tried to help us because he understands our unique situation, and so we're able to meet those requirements and keep our status as an agricultural fair. A lot of the agricultural fairs have gone away. It's in this economy, people don't have the disposable income that they used to, and so you're competing for those entertainment dollars, and so we would like to stay agricultural just because it's a good program. We are a member of the North Carolina Association of Agricultural Fairs. They give us a lot of support, information, that type of stuff. Something for the kids, we have a coloring contest, and the Progressive Club gives away bicycles.
Well, that's nice.
And it's not for the best drawing per se, we just pull it out of the hat. And we usually give away a boys and a girls bicycle.
Okay.
Now, Ruby, in the exhibit, have these categories for things in the exhibit, like, the artwork and things that you have they already been turned in?
No.
So they bring them with them?
They can bring them Monday. We'll be there from 9 to 6 on Monday the 30th. And we'll be there all day on Tuesday from 9 to 6.
So that's really when they need to bring the things
Monday
to you.
or Tuesday, either one.
And do you give blue ribbons?
Blue ribbons, red ribbons. And for those two, they are monetary.
Okay.
Easy way to make a little extra money if you've got some.
If you pick up a
homemade
premium book, we have a fair book that has all of the listings in it that tells what each category pays for a blue ribbon and a red ribbon. And like I say, there is money to be made there. Thankfully, most of them collect that money and bring it down and spend it on the midway.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Keep it in the mix
Right.
there.
Even down to chocolate-covered stuff and Divinity and fudge and mints. And,
Any baked goods.
and I think Bethware Fair is known for their famous ham biscuits.
Yes, we make homemade ham biscuits every day. It's good stuff.
And Dale, do you make these biscuits yourself?
No, I believe Charles Dover's gonna make them this year. He's been making them for a lot of years. He wasn't doing so good on his health, but they tell me he's doing a lot better, and he's gonna be with us making biscuits this year.
And we're not talking a mini biscuit.
Oh,
we're
no,
talking
no.
a huge biscuit.
Now,
A good biscuit, a good country ham.
And you'll know that there's ham on the biscuit.
You want to take your cholesterol medicine before you come.
now again, what the dates of the fair? July 1st through 5th.
Yeah, 1st through the 5th.
1st through the 5th. That's the first is on what, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday
This
of
coming
next
Tuesday.
week. All right, now Sandy, I'm going to be gone next week, and you want me to bring you some saltwater taffy.
Yes.
There will be a switcher. You talked about the
Okay,
candies,
here we
and
go.
the good stuff at the Bethware Fair. There may be just a little box of taffy for
A ham biscuit.
do a little, a ham biscuit sounds good.
And let's not forget, Jenks Concessions is going to be with us for you. They'll have all your cotton candy and your candy apples and all of that good stuff. You can't go to the fair without that.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And what would be the fair without
That
the
is
kids
true.
walking around with some cotton candy or candy apple? Do you have any entertainment, singers or dancers, anything like that?
Well, we have in the past, but last year and this year we've sort of had to cut that. We've had several bad years. Last year it rained every day. We didn't make hardly anything last year, and so we've had to cut all the expenses we could. And entertainment every night costs a lot of money.
I see.
And unfortunately, that's one of the things that we had to cut.
Yeah. Yeah, we did have a very rainy summer last year, no doubt about
Yeah.
that. What are the hours for the fair? When can folks enter on the grounds?
This year we're going to start a little bit earlier since it's the week of the 4th. We're going to start at 5 every night.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll run 5 to 10 Tuesday through Thursday and 5 to 11 Saturday or Friday and Saturday.
Okay. All right.
Well, it's the great 67th year, and we hope it don't rain, and that you have a good crowd. And if you're out there and you have a craft that you do, show it off.
Yes.
Take it to the fair, enter it. You don't, well, I'll never know, but you'll get the satisfaction of entering something too.
And it's not just produce and that type of thing. If you're not into gardening or whatever, there's categories for photography, metalwork, woodwork, arts and crafts. I mean, just about anything.
It's time for the word of
Bacon.
faith from Faith Baptist Church in Iron
Unfortunately, I
Station,
never
North
get to judge
Carolina.
the cakes. I don't know who you gotta be to get that job, but
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That sounds.
Well, maybe next year, Dale, they'll let us take it, please.
And we have outside sources who does the judging.
the Cleveland County Ag Extension Office is kind enough to come in and do that for us. Greg Traywick and his group. Appreciate them doing it. They've been doing it for years. Do a great job.
And that's coming up Tuesday.
That's exactly right. Sounds like a
A lot of work to be done.
lot of work to be done, but a labor of love. I can tell how much interest the community has in keeping it going. 67 years and
Yeah.
going strong.
And help them keep it going. Keep it going.
All right, thank you,
Come
folks.
see us.
All right, it's Dale
And Ruby McKenny.
Swain, McKenny, and we thank you very much for coming in today for the Community Profile. Sandy, that'll wrap it up for us this week. And with me being absent next week, the
Where
show
there
will
will
be
be no
absent.
shows, yeah.
Yeah, but you have a great week off next week, too.
You too. Don't forget my Kathy.
That's right, and we'll be back with the Community Profile after the week of the 4th.
Monday after.
All right, folks, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it, and join us again week after next for Community Profile here on Big O Country and KTCBroadcasting.com.